So I'm evening here on the 2nd of February, and it pains me to think about all the things that are happening in America right now. I'm a little bit confused as to how this whole thing about deportations are going on. Are they only going to deport illegal immigrants? Are they going to deport uh, immigrants with uh, cases in court, or what is it? Limiting the number of people coming in has always been the case. What is it? What, what does it entail? Okay. As a backdrop, the American or the U.S. immigration and naturalization uh, laws and regulations and all that very complex, very convoluted, and anything that's going to be written on those, or are those written rules, laws, and all that are very convoluted. Me personally, I am an immigrant. I came from the Philippines a long way back, over 30 years ago. 34, 30, yeah, 34, 33 years ago. And my wife has been here since 73, 1973. That would be about 50 something years, 50, more than 50 years in America. So, since both of us are immigrants, are we going to be affected by deportations? Yes and no. And let's go for the no. No, because we are legally naturalized American citizens. That that's who's to say that we can't be taken out from our homes and deported back to where we came from? No, no, we cannot. Yes, we can, because, as I said, the laws here for immigrants is very complicated. Although when we went through a process like filling up the forms, like paying for the fees, which are not cheap, and then like waiting forever, then interviews, and then collecting all the uh, documents that they need, like your police clearances, your medical report. Anything can go wrong from the process. But we endured. We even have to go for interviews and waited for the visas to be issued. And had we had any uh, shortcomings on our paperwork and all that, it would come out on the interview, and we would have to fulfill that. Like, for example, you have tumor TB, and you have to go back and do all this cultures and all that. And if you have your paperwork, you have a uh, missing a birth father in your birth certificate, or the dates are wrong, or something like that. So paperwork has something to do with that too. You have a paperwork that is incomplete, or they might not uh, give you a visa. But overall, when you get your visa, they still can review your visa when you're already landed, when you have 10 years or 20 years. And if, say, for example, you get caught uh, uh, filling in the biographical data wrong, those are grounds for deportation. Okay, no, you cannot be because you already, like for us, we're already retired. We worked here. We made a family here. We have our properties here. We have our pensions in here. What would happen to our pensions if we get deported? Are they going to cut off my pensions and also my Medicare insurances if they deported us? They cannot be transferred to another country. What would happen? We would lose that. Those are complicated questions that has to be answered carefully. Now, yes, we can still be deported if, as I said, there are defects on the forms that were submitted a long time ago, and they find that there's grounds for deportation. They might deport us. Also, uh, say the American citizenship. We are American citizens by naturalization. We went through the judge. We went through the interview. We went all kinds of stuff. We paid for the fees, and we waited for this thing to come out. There are not only us, but millions of immigrants who became naturalized American citizens. Now, however, if you committed a crime, if you have, again, uh, if you have broken rules, immigration and non-immigration rules, and they they would deem that as grounds for deportation, they can deport you. They have a wide latitude of events and rules, regulations that they can interpret according to their whims and all that. Because I'm telling you now, that's very complicated. I read a portion of the immigration rules and all that. They go reference to this one, reference to another one, reference to another one, two or three references because there are rules and this and that. Then you have rulings by courts and by the Supreme Court of the United States. Then you have to read all these things and all the facts. And some of them are negated because, it depends on your individual case. In our case, for example, right now, mostly we don't have criminal cases. We have some civil cases related to bankruptcy, related to, a dog that has bit, not really bit, but has, uh, made our neighbors uncomfortable. We have all those kinds of complaints. But can they do that? Can they really mess you up by deporting you, even if you are well settled in the United States? As of now, yeah, they have all the latitude and rules and regulations, and they'll tell you that, hey, this is it. Now you can fight that in court and have a stay of your execution. But then again, mind you, that would take years, and if you are deportable, I've seen people being deported I worked a long time ago at, you know, just saying that something has deportable. This guy was being deported. This is not now, but a long time ago. Guy is he grew up. He grew up in America. He went to school. He he actually got married and he had family. However, he was not an American citizen because somebody forgot that by 18 years old he has to choose and he has to apply for his citizenship, and nobody told him that. And he was still uh, a citizen of another country. So what happened was that after he served the time in jail for his crime, he was deported. And when I was talking to him, it was strange because he said he don't know anybody in that country anymore. His parents, his siblings, and his family, immediate family members, and all that are all in America. Nobody, where does he stay in it? Doesn't have any address or anything at all that would make him connected to that country. However, the judge said you have to be deported because you committed this crime and you are not an American citizen. You, you basically don't have the right to live in this country. So he got deported. I don't know what happened to him after that, but he went back to his country of origin. Things like that happen. Now, this one is the more recent one. The guy voted for Trump, and then only to find out that his wife is going to be deported. Actually, was deported. So, what happened to his vote? Nothing. His wife still got deported. So there are many things that are, question mark for me personally because I can always go back to my application, can always go back to my visa application and tell me that, hey, this is wrong or that. I can't even remember the documents that I signed or entered in. And I cannot even remember uh, the interview interviews first for the visa and the second for the citizenship. Can't even remember all that. All those things were done in paper, submitted and collected and all that. However, I really don't know if, for the most part, I'm thinking that you know any anything in the document that were submitted could come back to you if they would say that this is wrong, this is a lie, this is something that you have missed. You can do that, and that those are grounds for deportation. The other thing is that you missed paying your taxes or you owed the US government taxes way long time ago and you filed for bankruptcy and it was discharged instead of dismissed and then you eventually paid for it. However, now they're coming back to you said you violated the tax tax laws of America and you're deportable. I can say that even though you have corrected your deficiency. Okay. Another thing is that okay, now your neighbor get annoyed by your dog, and your dog, they ask you in court. They filed a case in court blaming your dog for suffering, injuries, and all that. And it was dismissed, and they can still go back to you even though it was dismissed because they can. All those kind of things, your parking tickets, I don't know. I really don't know. Even your workplace, they can go back and ask for your work history and all those things that that you've performed at work for so many years, or how 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 bad you were at work. So keep in mind that you are being taxed every year, every time you work, every month, and you apply, you filed your income taxes. And guess what? They can also audit your taxes from years back. I don't know how long they can do that. How long back you can do that. And they found out that, oh, you owe the government and you now have to pay. You say, I cannot pay that. I don't have the money. Guess what? That's also deportable. All these things that's happening right now about deportation, like the illegal immigrants that come from the south of the border, voting, those are the ones that I believe should be the first one to go back to where they came from. Because, as I said before, they are, they are using U.S. money for their accommodations for health, for education, and all that. And, you know, they don't pay taxes because if they work cash on hand. An employer or an employer uh, illegally hiring legal immigrants, pay them in cash, and there's no tax, there's no Medicare, there's no nothing. Cash for them, let go. Well, if you did that, if one has to do that, and you get caught, you'll probably go to prison. And after that, if you're an immigrant, they might start the process of deporting you. And so there are so many instances and so many reasons that they can uh, go after you if you're an immigrant. But for those who are illegally landed or illegally uh, entering the United States, those are the people that should be sent back to where they came from because they don't have paper. Uh, they did not follow the process of immigrating to this country. There is a process. There should be a order in order for them to come in. Apply for a visa, get an interview, accumulate all those documents, pass the interview, get the visa, and then come in here. Which nowadays it takes years and years and only sometimes. Me, for example, in my case, my parents, I petitioned them. But since it was slow, both my parents passed away before they can get the visa. My brother and his family, I petitioned in 1995. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2010, and they didn't get interviewed. The visa was never. And one more thing, when I applied for them and they passed on and never get the visa, whatever you paid for will never be refunded back to you. So all these things that happens right now in the immigration department of the United States are very, very touch and go. There are sectors in the community that wants this illegal immigrants taken away from the country. Fine, get those 11 billion illegal immigrants away from the country. And unfortunately, the legally landed immigrants and naturalized Americans are getting affected by this as well. But in order for them to get rid of this illegal immigrants, make sure that they are illegals. Make sure they have you know entered the United States fraudulently. They have made America their cash cow. Did not pay any tax or used the school system. And those for those who are in the category of birthright, if they were illegally entered into for the sake of getting U.S. citizenship so that the parents can come in, even though they entered the United States illegally. I don't buy that. They have to get out of this country because that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's just defrauding the United States. It's the taxpayers' money that would house them, that would make them eat with food stamps and Section 8 housing accommodations. That's not right. I mean, thousands and thousands of them. Why they hire lawyers and, so that they can get jobs that are basically United States citizen jobs. They commit crimes by stealing, murder, rape, and you know some of them are sick with contagious diseases like pulmonary tuberculosis, AIDS. They have never been tested because they're illegals, and then they spread it out all over the place. So anyway, this is just my observation right now that the Immigration and Naturalization Service is highly active, and I hope they can get rid of all these 11 million illegal immigrants that came to this country from way back to now, and leave the law-abiding legal, so legal immigrants alone, and the naturalized citizens. They're not doing anything wrong to this country, but they're being contribute to these communities to just leave them alone, and that's it. I'll wait and see what's next because I'm not quite sure what would happen next. Next, look at my beautiful baby dog. She just turned 4 years old 2 days ago. She don't care if I'm talking so loud in here and disturb her. Anyway, bye for now. I'll see you later.